I would like to felicitate Dr. Deshmukh. He is a career gynecologist and because has got a special interest in counseling for physical emotions, stress, particularly in doctor's life and patient's life. So he has got a lot of work and research, Dr. Sachin Deshmukh. Please, Dr. Sujul Professor, I would like to request to welcome Dr. Sachin Deshmukh. He has integrated some information from Bhagavad Gita and related it to emotions and stress. So it's interesting to listen to him. So I'd like to request Dr. Sachin Deshmukh to go ahead with his talk.
Good evening all. I welcome all of you on behalf of Dr. Bhavikar and Nixipan. Let's spend 1 hour of interesting interaction. So this will be an interaction session altogether. Human is hungry of information. Human is very much hungry for knowledge. So he travels a lot, goes here and there to gain new knowledge. But while getting that new knowledge, most of the time the knowledge is not correct. So we need to understand what is actually a difference between a belief and a knowledge. Many times we take information which is without scientific proof and experience. Maybe an information like बिल्ली आपका रास्ता काट देगी तो आपका काम नहीं होगा, or maybe आपके मरने के बाद you will go in heaven or hell. Now these are completely without any scientific basis or even experience. But the knowledge that we get, the knowledge is which is based this information with the scientific proof or experience. Whatever you experience yourself is the true knowledge. For example, E is equal to mc square. Einstein told us that, and that is a completely scientific knowledge. Similarly, whatever we experience ourselves, that also will be the correct knowledge. The scientific knowledge is necessary because the definitions are very much correct in science. Then there is a common platform and then it is equally effective for all. But now we will shift to the personal experiences. I am going to show you one video. I want you to get involved into it. Get involved and just observe the video and then we will talk. Okay. So let's come just now. I'd just like to recapitulate within 2 minutes. We're talking about human emotions and feelings. And we're taking some personal experiences about the emotions. So I want you to see this small video and experience the emotions inside you. Just understand what is happening inside your body. Everybody has a smile on his face. That is an action that has happened automatically. It's a reflex action that has come on your body, on your face. But what has happened before that? Before that, you have felt some sensations in the body, and these sensations are comfortable sensations. Now see the other one, the other video clip, and then again observe what happens.
मशीन खराब हो गई।
यार रीना आज नहीं आई। पापा ने शिरडी चलने के लिए कहा तो तुमने काम का बहाना बना दिया।
शीला कभी तो नॉर्मल रहा।
अरे तुम भी तो कभी सच बोला करो रवि, झूठ पर झूठ, झूठ पर झूठ, बेशर्मी की हद होती है।
बस अब बहुत हो चुकी तुम्हारी बकवास।
बकवास मैं कर रही हूँ? या ये क्यों नहीं कहते कि उसके ना आने से तुम्हारा काम में दिल नहीं लग रहा हो, खुले पड़े हो और गुस्सा निकाल रहे हो मुझ पे।
शीला पास करो।
ज्यादा गुस्सा मत दिखाओ घर में, समझे? इतनी याद आ रही है तो जाके पढ़े क्यों नहीं रहते उस रात के पास? इतना दिल करते तो मारते क्यों नहीं? बार बार रुक क्यों जाते हो?
मैं सचमुच मार दूंगा अगर तुम्हारी बकवास बंद नहीं होगी।
और मैं चुपचाप तुम्हारी मार खाती रहूंगी।
चुपचाप रहना तो तुम्हें आता ही नहीं है। यही तो तुम्हारी
Now look at you. Everyone is quite tense. The emotions, whatever I am seeing on the faces, on the body, there is some kind of stiffness in the body. Now, this is an action that has happened reflexly. But what has happened before that? Before that, something else has happened. Your body has experienced some sensations which were uncomfortable. So, on the basis of our personal experience, now let us define the emotions. What is an emotion? Emotion is unstoppable physical sensations followed by an action when you face a situation. This happens within a fraction of a second. It happens passively. That's an emotion. What are the types of emotions then? They can be either sad emotions or happy emotions, or could be angry emotions or comic emotions, or fearful or confident emotions, or they could be arrogant or encouraging kind of emotions. Overall, we can say, we can classify them into two, and that is the stressful emotions or the peaceful emotions. Let's know something more about the emotions. We are going to talk today about emotional equilibrium. So what is emotional equilibrium? Emotional equilibrium is when our emotional behavior is peaceful most of the times in the day, then we are in a state of emotional equilibrium. Now the question is, why do we want emotional equilibrium? It has got its own benefits. What are the benefits? The benefits are ability to focus on your goal. That is very important. Rational decision-taking power. Second, use of your energy and time for your own self-upgradation. Physical, mental, and social health. Creativity and productivity. Fulfilling relationships. And then lastly, the social service. Most of these people can do something for the society themselves. Now, how to become peaceful? That's a question. That's a question which has been giving or troubling the human being since ages. How to become peaceful? Should we become peaceful by getting power, position, pennies? Or is it art of living? Or is it landmark thought? Or is it happy thoughts? Or is it Osho? Or Brahma Kumari? Or running a marathon that can give peace to you? Or then weight loss? Or maybe doing some satsang with Asaram Bapu? Could be. So these are all the ways that we factor for the peace that we want in our life. But scientifically speaking, there is a fact there cannot be multiple answers to one question. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. There cannot be any other answer for that. So let us come to the unique answer. What is it? Let us understand the fact that peace is already present in everyone by default. Peace is present in everyone by default. Presence of stress finishes the peace. That's it. And that is why to experience peace, one need not import the peace. Peace need not be imported. It's already there. You only have to finish the stress. Now the focus is going to a stress. The question is, what is the definition of the stress? The definition of stress, is it tension? Or is it heavy head? Or is it worry? Or is it fear? What is it? See, American Psychological Association defines the stress this way. Stress is any uncomfortable emotional experience. Look at this word, emotional experience. And that's what we are talking about today. Emotional, any uncomfortable emotional experience accompanied by predictable biochemical, physiological, and behavioral changes. Now, this is quite a vague definition to finish the stress. Only experience can be said. What about the other things? So this is very difficult to understand. But now let us think about this from a different angle. What are the physiological changes that happen in the body during this stress? Let us see that. Physical response to stress, purpose of stress response, and long-term effect. What happens is release of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, increased heart rate, blood pressure. Prepares the body for action, fight or flight response, pumps blood faster and harder. But if it remains for long, then it becomes pathological, causing chronic fatigue, depression, or chronic high blood pressure. Increased respiration, breath rate, provides more oxygen to the body. But then, in long term, it causes overtaxed chest muscles, chronic chest breathing, anxiety, exacerbation of asthma, other respiratory problems. Decreased digestion. It diverts blood to the large muscles and the brain so that you escape from the danger. But then, in long term, it can cause ulcers or digestive problems. Diversion of blood flow from inactive to active muscles that prepares muscle for action. But again, in long term, it can cause chronic muscle tension, fatigue, muscle wasting. Blood sugar, blood coagulation increases. It causes minimization of blood loss in case you have injury. But then, in long term, it can cause increased blood clotting, may increase the risk of heart attack or stroke. Then extra glucose is released into the bloodstream and insulin production decreased. It provides more short-term energy and keeps the energy available. But then it can cause high blood glucose and lipid levels and diabetes and atherosclerosis in long term. Now we can have another definition, which is a physiological definition of stress. Let us define it from another way. What is it? When we look at all these changes, they are all expressions of our sympathetic nervous system stimulation. It's as simple as that. All these changes, they are the expressions of the sympathetic nervous system. And so, the stress can be defined as stress is the emotion of clinical or subclinical discomfort. Again, it is an emotion only. But this emotion is occurring due to fight or flight response due to repeated and unnecessary reflex activation of sympathetic autonomic nervous system. So now we have a definition which can direct us to us how we can finish the stress and get the peace or the emotional equilibrium. What is the basis of stressful or peaceful emotional behavior? The basis is the emotions, which we have already defined as unstoppable physical sensations and actions. They are based upon the feelings for similar situations. Now we will again experience that. Experience that and prove it to ourselves. Whatever are our feelings for the situation, they bring the emotions on our body. For example, you saw the first video, and in first video you smiled and you felt some comfortable sensations in the body. Now that happened because for such situations you have okay feelings in your mind that this is okay. And in the second video, you felt the stiffness, you felt the stress and uncomfortable sensation because you had not okay feelings about such kind of situations in your mind. That's it. Let us put it another way. In another way, let us to understand. I'll just ask you one question. Suppose you are sitting having a cup of tea and your tea is very hot and you are drinking the tea. One of the friend comes from behind and you don't know. He just pats on your back and gives you a jerk, and you spill the tea on your shirt, and you get the burning sensations on your body. Now the question is, why did you spill the hot coffee on your shirt? Very simple question. What would you say? Why? I think most of the people would say that my friend came from the backside and the jerk, because the jerk, the coffee or the tea spilled up. Is that okay? Anybody differing with that? Yeah?
Loss of awareness.
Okay, that's loss of awareness. If we think about this particular situation from a different angle, think about it. Your cup had hot tea. That is why you spilled it. If there were coffee, you would have spilled coffee. If there were cold milk, you would have spilled cold milk. It would not have given any burn. If there was nothing in your cup, nothing would have spilled. So one has to realize and understand that the trigger which came from outside, that was not the main cause of the burning sensation that you got. The burning sensation you got, the main cause of your cup was containing hot coffee or hot tea. The same thing is there with your mind and your body. In your mind, whatever are the feelings, they are going to come on your body. One has to understand. No trigger is responsible for that. People think that all the situation, all the persons around us, they are responsible. But they are responsible hardly maybe 0.1%. Most of the 99.99% cause is what is in your cup. So that is most important to understand that this person has spilled his coffee not because of the plane that is going, it's because the hot coffee is there in his cup. Or this boy has not spilled the popcorn on the tub because somebody has given a jerk to him. It's because he had popcorn in his tub. Similarly, we have to understand what are the feelings inside our mind because they are going to come as emotion. At this stage, now let us connect all this, what we have talked right now, to the science, to the physics. The relation of physics and physiology of feelings and emotions. Everything has to be given a background of the science also. Einstein gave us two formulas of energy. What are we? We also are energy. Our feelings are energy. Our emotions are energy. And what is the first law? The first law is energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. That's it. That's it. So this can be applied to us. Energy or feelings get converted into emotions. That's all. That's it. The second law is E is equal to mc square. There is not, the trigger is not written there, but the trigger has to be there. Without trigger, nothing will happen. The trigger is an atom of uranium. M is the mass of uranium. When this atom collides with the mass, with the c square speed, that is the speed of sunlight square, the energy comes out. And the energy is that of the atom bomb. And the atom bomb energy is destructive. Suppose, for example, you don't want that energy to be created, which is destructive. There are different options in front of you. The first option is suppress the atom bomb energy. Now, can you do it once the chain reaction has started? You cannot do it. You cannot suppress the energy of the atom bomb once the chain reaction has started. Maybe for some time you can suppress it, but it will come out from some other way. Second option is to stop the trigger, that the atom should not come to the mass of uranium. But now, how many times you will hide? Where you will hide? There will be too many people around you who will be running around with the atom to throw on the mass, and all the energy will come out. So, avoiding the trigger is also very difficult, almost impossible. And the third option is to change the mass. You can replace the mass of uranium by the mass of steel. Now, what is going to happen? N number of atoms of uranium will come, but the energy of atom bomb will not be released. So the focus has to be on M, but most of the times we don't do it. Now let us connect it with human. In human, the emotion is energy in motion. Whatever is happening in our body, emotion is energy. So E, we think that these emotions, they come because of a trigger, because of a situation, but it is wrong. The situation has got hardly 0.01% to do with it. What is the major part is what is in your cup. Mass of feelings in the memory of similar situation. And this is causing the emotion. This thing happens with c square of speed. Whatever happens, all the reflexes that happen in our body, they happen with this speed. Anyone can know that. When you are driving a car, you can look at your own body and you can find out that your body is really working with this speed. And that's how this formula, E is equal to Tmc square, fits onto the human being also. So the trigger is responsible for hardly 0.1%. The mass of memory, the mass of feelings is the thing that is bringing the emotions on our body. We can say in other words as well, the stressful or peaceful emotions, they do not come because of the situation, but they come because of not okay or okay feelings in our mind about the situation. So, to prove this again, because today we are going on the experiential level also. You have to experience it yourself and then apply whatever I am saying, whether it is correct or wrong. Now I am going to show you a small video clip. In this video clip, there are two parts. The first person has got a feeling that if my mic is not working properly, it is not okay. And look at his emotions. Look at his emotions of anger and how he is spoiling himself and the situation as well. And the second part of the clip, there is a person who has got a feeling that the failure of mic is okay. And look at his emotions, how he can use the situation for his own upgradation.
भरूच को एक ट्रीटमेंट अंकलेश्वर को दूसरी ट्रीटमेंट क्यों ना भरूच अंकलेश्वर ट्विन सिटी ट्रीटमेंट डेवलप किया जाए। बड़ौदा को एक सुविधा हालोल कालोल को दूसरी सुविधा क्यों ना हालोल कालोल बड़ौदा।
Now what he is saying, he says that मैं माइक वाला का आभारी हूं। वैसे तो ये खबर कल के अखबार में कभी नहीं आती, लेकिन अब ये खबर कल के अखबार में जरूर आई। और ये खबर ऐसे नहीं आएगी कि माइक बंद हुआ था, खबर ये आएगी कि मोदी की बोलती बंद हो गई।
इससे भी गुजारा करना होता है, तो दुखी होकर के क्यों चाहिए, उसका भी मजा लेना चाहिए।
So this is how your feelings about the situation, they turn into emotions, and these emotions are seen by the people, and that you have to work upon to get the emotional equilibrium. Now to get the emotional equilibrium, we need to work on the feelings. And now the question comes is, what are feelings? What are feelings? Feelings are the sensations that are experienced by our special senses. Our special senses, eyes, ears, nose, skin and tongue. So whatever sensation that we sense, they are recorded as comfortable or uncomfortable sensations in our mind, in our memory. So these are the feelings, these are the sensations. These sensations, they are only of two types. One is either okay or other is not okay feelings. Whenever we get comfortable sensations from somebody, we create okay feelings for them. And whenever we get some uncomfortable sensations from somebody, we give the name of not okay feelings to them. Now, who creates the feeling inside our mind? Now, this is the most basic question. Because this is the question and this is the answer too. This is what had happened yesterday and this is what is going to happen tomorrow. So, who is the person who can create the feelings in our mind? Knowingly or unknowingly? I'm saying knowingly or unknowingly. Because till today, you yourself also did not know what was happening. So, knowingly or unknowingly, only I can create my feelings about the situation that I face. That's all. Only I. Because one has to understand that I have full and 100% power on myself only. And when you come to know that I can create my memories and I am the only person who is creating the memories, then everything is in our hands. There are only 5 universal triggers for which we create the feelings. What are these triggers? One is persons, including myself. I create feelings even for myself also, and for the persons in my life. Then for the situations in my life, for the objects that I use, and then whatever discomfort that I get, all the discomforts, or then my negative thoughts. These are 5 universal triggers for which we create the M, that is the mass of feelings. These triggers and mass of feelings, if okay, not okay, the emotions are going to change. When we start creating our emotions, or when we start creating our feelings, when we were in our mother's womb, right from intrauterine life, we have started creating the feelings. Because whatever feelings the mother had, the emotion the mother had, they have passed through across the placenta to the baby, and the baby has experienced them and recorded inside the mind. Then, during the delivery, a big research has been done which shows that, a 14 years research has shown that the early umbilical cord clamping and traumatic delivery of the baby is the main reason of having stress. So at that time also, the stressful memory, the feelings, they have been created. During childhood abuse, or then during the adolescent age, or during adulthood, or then after the marriage. All the time a person is creating feelings in his mind for these 5 triggers. And then when a lady becomes pregnant, she passes on the same thing to the next generation. It happens automatically. So all the time we are doing this. Since when? Feelings are created since our intrauterine life till our death. That's continuously going on. And that is happening for the 5 triggers. The 5 triggers are persons including myself, situation, object, my discomforts, my negative thoughts. That's all. Right now also you don't know, but you are creating feelings about me. Unknowingly, without knowledge. You are doing that. Your own mind is doing that. Now suppose, whatever I am saying, you create okay feelings about me inside your mind. Tomorrow morning I will not be with you, but tomorrow morning I will be in your memory as okay feeling. And somebody asks you, yeah, how was it? And you say, fine, it was good. That's all. But then if you create not okay feelings about me in your mind, tomorrow morning somebody takes my name, you are going to feel the stress. You're going to become stiff. What a bad man, my goodness. He has wasted 1.5 hours there. That's what is going to happen. Now who is suffering? I am suffering or you are suffering? Because of the not okay feeling that you have created, I am not suffering. You are suffering. Now my question is, however shit talk I give, whether to call it okay or not okay, whose option is it? Because if you take the not okay option, I am not going to get suffer. But you are definitely going to get suffer. So that is how the feelings are getting created even in the present tense, and that is happening continuously. So right from our intra-uterine life till today, we have been creating feelings, and these feelings are created as the uncomfortable sensation. We started giving names to all these sensations later on as we came to know the vocabulary. Some sensations of fear, some sensations of anger, disgust, disappointment, frustration, sadness, unhappiness, anxiety, depression, insomnia, migraine, panic, all this. And because all of them are similar, all of them are producing the sympathetic nervous system stimulation, they all connect together. Just the same way as your steering, your clutch, your brake, your accelerator, your gear, all the memories they connect to each other, all the similar memories connect to each other, and by the time you become adult, you already have a bunch, a mass of not okay feelings inside your memory. And everybody knows what is the capacity of the memory. Thousands and thousands of GB. In the Times of India, it is written that one man's memory actually is equal to the whole internet of the whole world. That much memory we have. So that much of feelings are there, and all of them are connected. We can see usually only one side of the coin. We can see the emotions of fear, anger, disgust, sadness, arrogance, disappointment, frustration, anxiety, panic, and depression. And we consider that's all. We don't see toward the other side of the coin. That other side of the coin has the non-okay feelings inside the mind. Just understand that the people around you, the situation around you, they have only 0.01% power. They can only ignite. They can only ignite. Remaining is the feelings inside you, they are going to burst on their own. On their own. Just like this video, where you may feel that this man is responsible for all the firecrackers to explode. No, he is 0.01% responsible. He is just igniting the first firecracker, that's all. And the remaining one, we are doing ourselves. So the number of your not okay feelings is going to tell you how long you are going to suffer. That's all. People will suffer for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days. People keep on suffering for months and years together because they have that much of load of not okay feelings. Now let us understand why we don't understand it. We don't understand why what is happening is because we live present tense in 2 ways. One is active way and the other is passive way. Actively you are listening to me. This is an active present tense. But passively something is happening inside you. It's a subconscious thing. Now let us understand what is that. What happens passively? Passive present tense activities in mind and body, they occur with c square speed. C square speed, that is the speed of sunlight square. The triggers come to me, I note them through my special senses, because for example you're looking at me, right? Consciously. But your subconscious has got that much of spectrum. Maybe consciously you are listening to me, but your subconscious is listening to the humming of something or something going from outside. The subconscious is continuously working and continuously reacting. So the triggers, they are going in the mind, and in mind if there are not okay feelings, then automatically the same sensations that we have experienced since our intrauterine life till today, they will automatically come on the body. And these things, they will cause some biochemical changes, causing sympathetic hyperstimulation, causing stagnation of excess energy in the body, causing emotions of anger, fear, anxiety, panic and depression, causing physical actions like argument, abuse, or avoidance. And this will lead later on to negative thoughts and nightmares, dreams. And something worse happens then. And the worst thing is, your own discomfort now starts becoming a trigger. Your own negative thoughts, they start becoming the trigger. Now you do not need a trigger from outside. Now you have created your own trigger. Now you are going into a spiral, which is the chakravyuh. You are going into the spiral, going down and down and down, having more and more stressful emotion without even understanding what is happening, because these things are happening subconsciously with C-square speed. These people in coming video, they also do not understand what is happening inside them. A person is thinking that his computer is a problem. Other boy is thinking his mother is a problem. A father is thinking his son is a problem. A husband is thinking his wife is a problem. No, they are not. But look at all these people. All these things are only trigger. The not okay feelings are causing these emotions which are completely uncontrollable at present.
You said you're not the boss of me. I am the boss of you. When a mother says to be quiet, she's the boss of you, and you need to listen to that. But I never say when a teacher says something, she's the boss of you, and you shut up. Give me a turn to speak. Fine, see? You did it to me. How does it feel? How does it feel to be told to shut up? Let me speak. How does that feel? How does that feel? Do not put your hands on me. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? No, I asked you a question. You know what? Shut up!
I'm sorry. अगर डॉक्टर हे पण म्हणतात आरती की कॉन्टॅक्ट ठेवा, पण कॉन्टॅक्ट ठेवायला माझी बायको कुठे आहे?
सत्य काय झालंय तुला? तुला तुझी काळजी घेतात नाही म्हणून मी काळजी घेते ना. राजा, माझं प्रेम आहे तुझ्यावर.
प्रेम ना ही आरती करायची माझ्यावर, ही प्रेम करायची माझ्यावर. तू जीव घेतेस माझा.
If you look at all these people, you will understand they are living the passive present tense. They are doing nothing actively. Everything is happening automatically and passively through that phenomena which is happening. Second thing, what happens is our subconscious is reacting to all the things in the range. It is automatically getting stimulated, or the sympathetic system is getting stimulated because of the not okay feelings about all these things. And that is leading to the problems. The energy is increasing in the body, the discomfort is increasing, and then it comes out, it's seen on the faces as disgust, frustration, arrogance, anger, fear, anxiety, panic, whatever it is you call it. All this expression in the milder form, this starts. So we can see on them, on the faces of these people. People who are suffering from these kinds of discomfort, as they do not find any way out, then they can succumb for all kinds of addictions. They can go for the smoking, drugs, the pornography, alcohol, or the video chatting, or everything, whatever it is. The people who have got now more number of the not okay memories inside them, now they are going to fall for the psychosomatic illnesses. These illnesses can be migraine, depression, anxiety, panic attack, irritable bowel syndrome, OCD, or schizophrenia. Whatever name we give, only the thing is the variety is there, that's all. The variety of not okay kind of feelings is there, it is coming out as different kind of the emotions. WHO has said that more than 65% of organic diseases are result of psychosomatic problem. It has been told. So when this is happening, the subconscious, unnecessary and repeated stimulation of sympathetic nervous system, each and every system of our body is going to show the problems. How to come out of it now? Now that is the question. Let us take a tip from Lord Krishna, how to come out of this. Beautiful thing has been said there, that every person takes a decision only to finish his discomfort, his uncomfortable sensations and distress. And he thinks that the stress is coming from certain things. And he is saying that it does not come from there. It comes from the imagination. It is imagination, it's a projection of future danger in front of you. Nothing more than that. It is not reality, there is no real danger in front of you. It's only an alarm for the future danger which is coming on the body and is coming from the memory. That's all. From the feelings. And that is why it can be finished very easily. So, how to go ahead with this? To have some more knowledge about this, once again, let us understand this formula of E is equal to T mc square. That is, the stressful or peaceful emotions are not because of the trigger, but they are because of not okay to okay feelings in our memory. If we can convert them, then everything can be okay. Then let us understand now what actually happens inside our body, what is in between the feelings and emotion. There is one linking thing in between these two, and it is the sensations. So what are the facts? Everybody can understand on his own experiential level. Every reflex action occurs due to sensation. And what are the examples? Scratching occurs because of itching sensations. Sneezing occurs because of tingling in the nose. Jerk away from hot utensil occurs because of burning sensations. Defecate or urination occurs because of distended sensations from the bowel or bladder. Eating occurs because of hunger. Drinking occurs because of thirst. Now these are all physical things, but then let us think about something else. Crying. Crying is also a reflex phenomenon. Why it happens? There has to be something, and that linking thing is the sensations. So there are sensations of helplessness which come, which are already there in the mind and in the memory of almost everyone. And when a similar situation comes in front of them, crying automatically happens. Avoidance. Why it happens? Avoidance happens because there are fear sensations that come on the body. Or then self-harming behavior. Many people do that. They harm themselves, either in their business or physically also. That happens reflexly because of the guilt sensation that they get. See, to understand this, most important thing, what is happening right now, as I also was saying, we are seeing the anger everywhere. Arguments, verbal and physical abuse. People are doing it literally anywhere, anytime, reflexly, without even call for the situations. Why? Because they are getting the anger sensations. They are inside them. Vice versa. To understand this once again at the experiential level, if I make tingling on your abdomen, you will reflexly laugh. The sensation will lead to laughing. Use of tapki, some people use tapki, they inhale it inside, it gives the tingling sensation in the nose, it causes the sneezing. Use of enema, what it does, it distends the bowel and then that leads to defecation. Use of khas there is a powder, if that powder if you put on somebody, then the person then gets itching sensations and automatically, reflexively that person will start scratching. So sensation is the link in between the feelings and the emotions. Now the part second is, if sensations are not produced, there are no emotions. Like, there is no itching, no scratching, no thirst, no water drinking, no hunger, no itching, no burning sensation, no jerking away, no sensation of bowel bladder, no defecation, no tingling sensation in nose, no sneezing, no tingling on abdomen, no laughing, and now most important, no helplessness sensations, no crying. No guilty sensations, no self-harming behavior, no fear sensations, no avoidance, no anger sensations, no arguments of verbal or physical abuse. Now, from where the sensations are coming? That is the part 3 of this law. Sensations are present in the memory as feelings. And they are only of 2 types. One is okay feeling, which could be security, safe, friend, good, happy, interesting, easy, clean, awesome, opportunity, entertainment, beautiful, fulfillment, proud, etc. These are all okay kinds of feelings. And they bring out what? They bring out the comfortable sensations and peaceful emotions. The not okay feelings can be there, which can be insecurity, unsafe, enemy, bad, sad, disgusting, difficult, dirty, awful, problem, harassment, ugly, frustration, guilt, etc. And they come automatically on the body as what? As uncomfortable sensations and stressful emotions. And part 4 is very easy to understand. And part 4 says that converting not okay feelings into okay feelings stop discomfort sensations from arising and automatically converts stressful emotions into peaceful emotions. So that is the level where we have to work. So once we understand this, we can use rational memory therapy for conversion of these feelings. The principle, there are only 3 principles of rational memory therapy. The first principle is to understand that stressful emotions occur due to retrieval of not okay feelings in memory. So, neutralize memorable, uncomfortable past incidences using R7 meditation. This can be done every day, morning, evening, for 30 minutes. The 7 steps are: remember any not okay situation. It could be today morning, it could be yesterday, because see, today is on the basis of yesterday, yesterday was on the basis of day before yesterday, and the chain continues till the end. So if you start moving the rope here, it is going to move from there also. You need not go into too much of your past. You can just remember any not okay thing from yesterday and then relive it. Then rationalize the feeling as a spectator, reinstate okay feelings for it, and then relive it again and smile. Relief from discomfort of this and all similar incidents in the past. You convert one incident of same caliber, all the incidents in the past of the similar nature, they will get converted on their own, and then you can rejuvenate for a better tomorrow. Do you see? What happens is, when 2 people are arguing, it is something like fire putting into fire. It does not stop there. One is putting fire into other. One is triggering other and other is triggering one. So when one person stops, and he can stop only when he converts the situation from the not okay to okay feeling. Once he does that, he can stop arguing and he can come on the discussion level. And that can stop all the arguments in the future and the past. So that is the principle number 1. That is about the past. One can do it for 21 days and everything will be fine. What are the feelings to be changed? I will just give you some examples, like enemy, friend, hatred, empathy, ugly, beautiful, harassment, entertainment, problem, betterment, guilty, proud, not okay, okay. Now everything needs a justification. Why I should and how I should. Definitely it cannot be told in this only 1 hour session. Okay, so it takes time to understand why and how the justification has to be done. Even you can go on Google and just search for antonyms, and you will find n number of names of feeling in the Google. You can pick up 20, 25 which apply to you, the not okay feelings, and take the antonyms of them and convert them. That's all. It's as easy as that. The R&D principle number 2 is evidence-based, active, dynamic, systematic creation of okay feelings for triggers in my life. And what are the triggers? Which are persons including myself, situations, object, my discomforts and my thoughts. If one remains in that situation continuously for 6 a.m. today to 6 a.m. tomorrow, the things keep on changing. This principle 3, identify your blanket. See, every person needs a blanket in winter. He needs a raincoat in rainy season, and he needs an umbrella when it is too much of sunny thing. So understand the need of blanket, need of raincoat, and need of the umbrella. So identify your blanket. Me and my blanket is my spouse. My mother, father, brother, sister. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. My friends, colleagues, and children. They are my blanket. Then identify your raincoat. Your raincoat is your maid servant, your driver, your staff, your grocery wala, your petrol pump, your sabzi wala, watchman, sweeper, plumber, electrician, and the plants and trees and pet animals. These are your raincoat. And then identify your umbrella. And this umbrella is this. Some person in Japan is manufacturing a car for you. Some person is creating windows in America for you. Some person is digging petrol in Kuwait for you. And that is why Krishna said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So this is your umbrella everywhere. Now if you want yourself to be in the blanket, if you want that umbrella to give you the shadow, then this umbrella must have something good feelings about you in their minds. Now it is your duty. What? Create okay feelings about yourself in their mind. In their mind. Now they cannot create themselves. They don't have this knowledge. So you have to behave. And it's very easy to do. Very easy. First and foremost is just keep on giving smile. Just keep on giving smile. That's why when Shah Rukh Khan goes from bottom to top, just keep on giving smile. Keep on giving respect. Even if it is a small child or your servant, just keep on giving respect to wife, future, and everyone. Never insult them. One thing that a person never wants in life is an insult. And everyone wants one thing in life, and that is the respect. So respect and never insult. Never show their weaknesses. People feel that by telling their weaknesses, they will become better. They do not. They become worse. The moment you tell them a weakness, they already know it, that they are weak in that, you become enemy inside their mind. So never tell your weaknesses to anybody. But that is what is happening everywhere. Always appreciate their abilities. You can find out their abilities and appreciate them and know and use the loving touch. So when you use these 3 steps of rational memory therapy for 21 days, now the memory bank will start one by one, it will start filling, and by the time you are complete with it for 21 days, it will become a habit. Your memory bank is full. And not okay feelings will be completely converted into okay feelings, and by reflex, the stressful emotions will convert into peaceful emotions, and you will land up with the emotional equilibrium. Now what is going to happen next? Because there are no not okay feelings inside you, now your sympathetic system will not get activated even subconsciously. Now there will be parasympathetic dominance. And because of that, the brain will take over. Our brain, we are underestimating very much. Our brain has all the capacities of dissolving the clots, keeping the sugar in control, keeping the weight in control, and all the skin problems also in control. But it is not getting the time for the homeostasis, because subconsciously these things are happening. So the moment these things is over, then all the things will come in your way. The stress problem either will not arise, or if they are there, their severity will start reducing. And as you're having peaceful emotions, your relationships also will become better. Your rational decision power will increase, and success will be yours. In our total, one can say that by achieving the peaceful emotions, by converting your feelings, the not okay feelings, into okay feelings, and reaching the emotional equilibrium will give you physical, mental, and social health. Thanks a lot for your patient listening. It was a long lecture at this time. Thanks.